Hi, everybody. Welcome back to A Pastor's Thoughts. This is going to be a quick video. I wanted to talk a little bit about the live stream that Warren McGrew of the Idol Killer on YouTube, the live stream he did, where he was reviewing my video on the definition of total depravity. Now, before I get into this, there are a few things I have to say because this is going to be short. Everyone knows I've said some things about Warren in the past. Like, me and Warren don't have the greatest of relationships, if you will. And I don't take anything back that I've said. Like, I don't believe he's Christian. Now, is that something that's really useful or helpful that I said? Maybe not. Right. But it is my opinion. And it doesn't mean that I hold like any type of animosity toward Warren. Um, and I wanted to make that clear. And, when I watched his live last night, I had some thoughts right from the beginning. And I could tell it was it was somewhat strange. I could tell that he didn't watch my video before. Really quick, and he made some mistakes. And I said a couple things in the live chat, and I got muted for it, which that's their prerogative. It's his channel; they can do what they want to do. But none of that. I'm not here to complain about any of that. What I'm here to say first and foremost is, I had thought about doing a reply of that video, but I had already planned on making at least one more video on his opening statement of the debate that he had with Rogue, getting into his arguments and getting into the reason why I don't think he defined total depravity, which I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But again, I want to clarify something here. I have decided that I'm not going to go forward with either making a response video, at least right now, or even doing the piece on his arguments on total depravity from the debate with Rogue Calvinist. Now, why am I doing that? I'm doing that because I think, quite honestly, I think Warren has a lot of stress on his life. Right? You might say, well, why do you worry about that? Well, I mean, I'm not a bad person from what despite of what anyone out there might tell you or what they might think. It's not like I wish bad things upon people, right? Even if I don't consider them to be Christian, it doesn't mean that I can't have empathy for them, that I can't have sympathize with them, right? To have some kind of feel bad for them in the situation that they're in. And I just think that Warren's under a lot of stress. It's a public it is public knowledge that he's going through a rough time right now with his family. And I would encourage all of you out there to pray for him and his family that the whole situation would be resolved and there'd be a weight lifted off of his shoulders, pray for his children, that they would come through this fine, and pray for his wife as well. I really want to encourage you to do that. Now, I'm going to do that myself. So I don't want to, but because of the not so good relationship that Warren and I share, it seems that like anything that I do tends to cause way more stress on him, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that right now, so I'm not going to. No. So yeah, please pray for them that they would find some strength and find a resolution to the whole problem in their lives. I will encourage you all to do that. I would also encourage you to pray for Warren in specific with his theological commitments. I think, again, I do want to say I do think they're dangerous, but again, that doesn't mean that I have to hold any animosity toward the guy. I don't want to see him stressed out like that. Like he acted toward the end. He got really frustrated. It seemed to be with my video. Now that I've got that out of the way, I want to say just a couple of things about that video and about the live stream. It seemed that Warren had the idea that the whole video that I had made was about him and his argument, but it wasn't. It was a setup or a starting video in order to make a small series, like maybe one or two more videos. And that video in specific was just specifically to lay out the definition of total depravity. Now, it takes a while in that video for me to lay it out, but there's a reason for that. Right? I think that when you're going to talk about a topic, a subject, you need to go to academic sources in order to get a consensus on what a definition of the topic you're going to talk about. Now, I have an example of that happened just today. So I had a conversation with Kurt Jaros, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Kurt Jaros on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. It is X, so we'll call it X. And it was about semi-Pelagianism. Now, in that conversation with Kurt, we needed to start with a definition. That was Kurt's idea. I agree with it. We need to do that. And he asked me if he wanted, if I wanted him to provide some definitions he has, or if I wanted to provide one. And I said, well, you can provide one. That's fine. I said, but I just think semi-Pelagianism is this. And then I explained it in my own words in one small sentence for me and him. And he agreed. And the whole conversation ensued. Now, here's where this is relevant to the video that I made. I came into another conversation along that same lines of semi-Pelagianism with Jonathan Pritchett. Now, most of you here know Jonathan Pritchett. Most of you probably don't know that Jonathan Pritchett and I are friends. Now, we're not like buddies. We've never met in real life, but we've known each other for quite a long time. And I consider Jonathan to be a friend of mine. And I would hope that I'm pretty 99.9% sure he considers me a friend as well. I respect Jonathan. I respect his opinion on things. So he comes into the conversation and he asks me about total depravity. He asks me to define it. And he gave me a parameter on how to define it. He wanted 4 academic sources not coming from the same person. Right. And the reason for that is to get like a consensus on how the term that we're going to discuss is being defined. That's what I was doing in my video. I pulled several theologians to go through what they say total depravity is, and then, sadly, and again, I'm not going to continue this long. I just wanted to kind of lay this out as as the reason why I made the video the way that I did. But at the end of that video, there was actually Warren had stopped watching it on I think John Frame's definition that I gave. I was going to give Louis Berkhoff's definition that was next. It was the last definition of the theologians that I'd picked out to use. And from his definition, I was going to make some distinctions that were actually going to get to the heart of where I was going to argue against Warren not actually defining total depravity. Did Warren offer a definition for total depravity? Yes, he did. He gave a definition. Did he define total depravity? No, I don't think he did. And I was going to make that case more strongly in the arguments that of his that were going forward that I was going to deal with in the next couple of videos. But again, this video that I had made that Warren responded to was just specifically to define total depravity. It was the name of the title of the video is what it was. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say, right? That I wanted to say that, and I wanted to give that example with Jonathan Pritchett and also with Kurt Jaros that, yeah, when you get into a conversation like that, you need to be specific about the definition. And I will say, though, I didn't give Jonathan 4 definitions on X. I ended up with 3. I wanted to keep it in my own library, and I could only find 3. Two dictionaries, and then in Bavinck has a pretty good definition for it. So I used the 2, the Oxford Dictionary, another dictionary that I had, and all of Christian terms, and then also use Bavinck in order to define semi-Pelagianism for him in that thread. But that's the way to do it now. And Bavinck got very detailed. If Bavinck didn't get so detailed on it, then I would have added some more details in myself, because I think like understanding the terms within a definition, especially if it's just like one sentence, is extremely important. So anyway, that's what it was. The video was long, sure, longer than I expected it to be. But that was just kind of the nature of the beast and what I was trying to do, with offer a bunch of different theologians to show a consensus, and then to use that as a stepping stone with that definition and those theologians and what they see as what they see total depravity as it is and as it isn't, to go forward and point out some distinctions that I think Warren missed in his defining of total depravity. So, if I said that Warren did not provide a definition, which is very possible that I did, I apologize for that. He did provide a definition, but he didn't define it as far as give us an understanding of what total depravity is. But again, that's all water under the bridge. Pray for Warren, pray for his family. And I apologize for anything wrong that I said in the live last night, right? I didn't overreact. I just reacted to what I heard, not taking into account the situation that Warren is in. Well, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for watching this. And if you're not a follower of Jesus Christ, I beg you to consider the gospel invitation, right? All you have to do is believe in him in order to be forgiven of your sins and have eternal life. I pray that you would do that. Thank you and goodbye.